Brian, good to see you again, and just remind people of what you saw.
Hey, Robin, I'll do my best. I can't even believe how many people were killed. But so I was sitting in the VIP section, and it was right near the stage, and I heard a popping sound. Thought it was fireworks. I looked up in the sky, didn't see anything. I was worried. Jason Aldean stopped singing. There was kind of a gap in his song. It was very surreal. I knew something was wrong. And then I heard shots fire, like just going off like they were right on top of us. So I ran to the front, up the aisle, laid face down on the aluminum. I was pulling people down because I think a lot of folks didn't realize at that point that the shooting was taking place. They were still sitting up. And I have to tell you, when I was on that ground, that shooting went on for, it had to have been 20, 30 seconds.
And you almost left early,
there was
Brian?
A gap.
Brian, you said you almost left early, too?
Pardon?
You almost left the concert early?
I was, Robin. Yeah, Robin, it was so ironic. I was going to leave and take a 7:50 flight back to LA today. But what's so surreal about this is I'm on the 24th floor of the Mandalay Bay. I have the exact view of this lunatic that killed everybody. And I was looking out that window this afternoon, and I said to myself, this looks so beautiful. It's such a beautiful setting that I'm going to stay an extra night and not go back. And then I go, and people were massacred because of that same view that I saw.
And I know that you were thinking of your daughter, Brian.
Yeah. So I have an 11-year-old daughter. Mm-hmm. And what happened, Robin, is after the first round of shooting, I ran down these steps. Then a gentleman screamed, "Get in this room," because we were in open fire then. We were running north, but we were right next to Las Vegas Boulevard. I go into this room. It was like a little production area. And the hardest moment for me is I saw like 6 young women. They were maybe 20, 22. They were all crying on the ground. I was trying to be calm. But at the moment I thought of the Orlando shooting because we were in this room. We didn't know where the shooter was. We thought he was just gonna jump the fence and come in that room and shoot us all. So I didn't know whether that was the right decision. So I'm thinking, am I gonna die like in this room? And then the shooting stopped. I peeked out the front of the door. I peeked my head out. Police officers screamed, "Go, go." And I rallied everybody out of that room, and we ran toward the back, further back of the venue. And that's where I saw 2 people shot. And then I found out an hour ago from the couple next to me that a young woman in the row, so there was a fence in front of the VIP section, then general admission. A young woman was killed like in the general admission section right in front of us. So go figure.
You can't figure something like this, Brian, and I'm sure you brought those young women more comfort than you could ever imagine. And
I really tried, Robin. I mean, I really felt like I needed to do something there because I had to rise above it. I was determined. I said to myself, these girls aren't going to die. I'm not going to die. I need to get home to see my daughter. This is not happening. Not happening.
Oh. Well, we're glad that you and those that were around you were okay. Brian, thank you.
Criminal defense attorney Brian Capel joins me now. Brian, welcome. Always good to have you with us. So this is a World War I era shipping law. Just explain to our international viewers why it was enacted in the first place.
It was enacted right after World War I because the United States was worried about what's called German U-boats.
The last time she talked to him, no indication of anything. I mean, nothing. He was in Vegas and gone on a cruise or something, or blah, 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 blah. And see, I mean, he sent her a walker because she's having trouble walking. I mean, it's like I said, find out who sold him the machine gun. There's no... I don't know what else to say.
Had he had any?
I mean, it's his fault that he did this. I mean, but I'd like to know where he found the machine gun, because that's not something that's that easy to come by, I assume. And he's not. I mean, he has no criminal record. He has nothing, no affiliations with anything.
That brother tells us
There's nothing.
Basically, this is the equivalent
So-
of an asteroid falling out of the sky and hitting his family's home this
Can you just describe sort of what went through your head when you found out that it was your brother's name that came out?
I thought it was somebody joking. I thought it was, I mean, if all my cell phones and house phones didn't all light up at the same time with Las Vegas PD on them, I would have thought it was, you know, some dopey friend of mine making a joke.
Yeah.
There's just, I mean, we were working with the cops since the first thing, trying to, you know, trying to understand or, you know, trying to make it do what we could. There's just nothing, we got nothing to give you. There's just nothing. He was just a guy.
How is your mom coping?
She's okay. She's 90 years old, and her son just killed a bunch of people and got shot dead. So she's a little rattled, strangely enough. But she's okay. I mean,
Did you know the woman that he was
yeah,
with?
it's his girlfriend. I mean, that's why we were on the phone with the cops the first thing, is to find out what happened to her. There's no, I mean, she's just a nice lady who was his girlfriend. And we're worried that she was going to get, you know, shot up or something because they thought something weird. But he's definitely only himself. There's no affiliations. I mean, once again, that I know of at all. I mean, there's no affiliations. There's no church. There's no religion. There's no politics. There's no anything.
Had he had any issues with mental illness in the past?
No mental illness. No, I mean, once again, that I know of. But there's no nothing.
Nothing that would have indicated to you.
Yeah, he had
like
some
this.
allergies. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, he was just a guy.
Yeah.
This is.
Yeah, no, you know, not as strange at all.
I mean,
they are in contact.
I want to know. I mean, we want to know what in the world. We need to know. I mean, I'd like to know how in the world, or
when he moved out
what
there a couple
happened.
years ago.
Because, like I said, it's just like an asteroid fell out of the sky. There's no, there was nothing that would say he would do this kind of thing.
Confounding to this family. And of
Eric,
course
is there anything else that you would like to say that you want
I mean,
to know?
once again, our condolences. I mean, you know, could have been my kids at that show. I mean, you know, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know what else to say.
Have you seen any of the videos? Have you?
I've been watching this stuff all morning. I mean,
And I mean, how
holy-
does that affect you?
my brother just killed 50 plus people. How does that affect me? I'm a little, I got this headache right now, strangely enough. I mean, our family's huddling together and trying to hope, you know, we're trying to make sense of this. I mean, the first thing I did was get a hold of everybody and find out if anybody had been in contact with him or anything, but nothing. I mean, my son had texted him a couple weeks ago to tell him about he's getting married and, you know, if he wanted to drop by for the wedding kind of thing. I mean, there's...
When was the last time he lived in Florida? Was it recent?
It's been a year or two ago now.
Okay.
You'll find. I mean, he lived in Melbourne. He had a house there for a little while. Decided he didn't like the, too much, too much dust from the farms over in the end of Vieira. I moved him back to Vegas, to Mesquite. I mean, he ate burritos at the Del Taco. I mean, he drove down to Vegas and played video poker.
From what you know, he was just living a normal life.
There's exactly nothing. Yeah, exactly nothing.
Yeah.
What do you do for a living?
He's retired.
What had he done before?
There's just nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all in the public record. He did stuff. He went to college. He had a job. We owned some apartments. We sold some apartments. There's nothing. There was no
indication at all.
Nothing. That's what's so. I mean, I can't even make something up. There's nothing.
My friends and my husband and I were watching the concert. Jason Aldean had just come on stage, and everybody's excited and yelling and screaming, and we saw something that looked like fireworks. It sounded like fireworks over the side, and it was like really weird, and it was like, why are they doing the fireworks? And it popped a couple of times, and people kind of looked over, and you could see smoke or something. It was toward Mandalay Bay side, and then we saw Jason run off stage, and then people all over on the floor, the grassy area in front of the stage, were just like, some were falling and some were screaming and yelling and running. And we were in this tower up on top, and it's like everyone said hit the floor. So everyone was just like literally laying on top of each other, trying to get out of the way. And the shots just kept coming. And so we were going down, and when we got down, there was a man that was shot right there. They were trying to take him out. He was all bloody and he was unconscious, and one of my friends was helping him out, and they got him out, and we ran, and everybody's hiding everywhere. I mean, they're hiding under the bleachers and the stanchions and anywhere they could, and everyone's telling us to run as fast as you can. My husband and I ran out toward our car, and there were people hiding underneath my car for cover. And there was a gentleman that was shot, and he said, can you help me? And so I put him in my car, and I had like 6 people in my car, people with out shoes, running just to get away. And
no, you are so strong. And Christine, we talked about before you came on camera about how you just tried to scramble and help people as best as you could. Could you talk about, you had your vehicle, and you knew you had to get them help?
We had a gal that was with this couple that the guy had been shot in the back, or in the backside, and I thought he was going to be okay, but he was bleeding, and so he wasn't as serious to shove him into the ambulance that was right there. So I took him in my car, and she said, can I drive? Because she worked for Metro. And we got to the hospital so quick you wouldn't believe it. But anyway, she drove, and I went to Sunrise Hospital. Right. And my husband went in another car with another man that was unconscious to UMC. And I'm here right now because he's in there with my friend whose daughter is only 18 and she got shot.
And that is absolutely tragic, and we appreciate your bravery.
I'm just trying to get in the hospital. And we got to the hospital so quick you wouldn't believe it. But anyway, we got to the hospital so quick you wouldn't believe it. But anyway, she drove, and I went to Sunrise Hospital.
Mike Kronk, who was at the concert when the shooting broke out. Mike, just a horrifying scene right there. Tell us what you went through.
It was very horrifying. At first, it sounded like fireworks, and then my buddy that was standing right next to me said, I'm hit. And then we knew it was real, and it was chaos. We got him down, and people screaming, and
he got hit right in the chest?
Just pretty horrific. my buddy got shot 3 times in the chest.
How is he doing?
Last I heard, I haven't been on the leave here, but he said he was going to be good.
My goodness. So tell us what happened in those moments afterwards. How did you all get out of there?
Most people started scattering and they climbed the fence, but I had to stay with my buddy. So we got him over the fence once the fires stopped and slid him under his stage so we were safe. And then we transported him around the backside of the event.
How did you get him around? How did you stop the bleeding?
Triage. There was 3 of us carrying him, and there was a cart. And so we got him on the cart, and we wheeled that around.
So you were able to get him to the triage, and then where did you all go next, and how did you find safety?
Well, I wasn't really worried about the safety part because I was going to stay with my buddy. There were no ambulances available, really, because it was a fire zone. So we actually got 4 wounded people in the back of a truck.
I know you got 4 wounded people in the back of the truck, but not all of them made it.
No, and no one of the guys in our truck did not make it either. I carried him out of the truck, and he passed away in my arms.
Oh, I can't imagine what that must have been like, but you had the presence of mind to try to get people to safety, but this all unfolded so quickly.
Very quick. It's surreal.
And in those moments, where were your thoughts?
My first thoughts were for my buddy, I mean, I wanted to make sure he was taken care of. But, we were pretty much yelling at everybody to stay down, that was what we needed to do.
Well, we're glad you're okay now. So sorry for your friend and all those who've lost their lives and loved ones in this. But Mike Cronk, thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you.